My name is Joe Max Wakim, and I've teamed up with Allianz partners to explore the experiences and perspectives of different generations who are currently living throughout the healthcare world of today.
Definitely wouldn't want to live until I'm 100, if that's answering the question.
Yeah, 100, I'd say. I think that'd be plenty.
But I don't like the idea of dying. I try to avoid that.
I'd say my grandparent was healthier somehow than me.
When you get some ailments, and I got a lot of ailments at my age.
For me, personally, it's giving myself small rewards, one step at a time.
Well, the concept of living well for me means paying my bills, saving some money, and not thinking about tomorrow.
From the phrase itself, I'd say, living your most healthy, good life.
With this series, we aim to understand how we can learn from the living generations to improve healthcare outcomes for multiple generations today and be good ancestors for future generations. In this episode, we will be focusing on living well and what it means for people of different age groups, genders, and backgrounds.
So to me, living well means moderation.
Sort of do everything in moderation.
Just enjoying your time, doing what you do, trying your hardest, I'd say, and keeping your body and mind in check.
I think what I find important in life is good food, good rest, and good facilities in which to rest.
The emphasis on moderation, combined with the responsibility of teaching the next generations about healthier lifestyle choices, sets a foundation for sustainable living. As we move forward, it is crucial to cultivate an environment, both at home and in the community, where these values are lived and passed on.
Talking about myself, I think a lot about, for example, to have checkups at least once a year.
We decide what we put in our body. I think there are many diseases that are very preventable if you just eat well and live well, if I were to say.
I find myself a bit stressed sometimes and say, right, I'll put on a little bit of yoga, I'll do some breathing.
My grandmother would have lived until she was 96, together with my grandfather was 95, and they would literally go for a walk every day at the beach.
Thinking about my generation and my grandparents, I think physically they're in better shape.
The focus on preventing diseases through regular checkups and exercise underscores the importance of proactive health management. The contributors' reflection on the healthier lifestyles of their predecessors suggests a need to reclaim and modernize traditional practices. Future generations are likely to inherit a mindset where taking ownership of one's health is a given.
Spend more time talking to each other. Put the devices down. Just, you hear it time and time and time again.
Again, a great question, because I'm not really good at being resilient.
I've lived alone for quite a long time, but I would feel very lonely if I didn't have good friends I can talk to, and I think it's very important to have friends.
Our contributors had a concern about the impact of technology on social connections, which highlights the need to strike a balance between digital and in-person interactions.
My grandparents grew up on a farm. They had a dairy farm. They worked very hard, but I'd say they ate a lot of good food, more of a natural kind of lifestyle they lived back then.
I have one grandfather alive now, and he's 93. Much of that is because the diet. He used to live in a farm, and everything was from the farm.
When I consider my father, he was in 3 wars. But as far as he was concerned, he didn't smoke. He was very much involved with his family. He didn't spend any money on himself.
The young contributors had a perception that older generations had healthier lifestyles due to different environmental factors, which suggests that we must adapt these timeless practices to contemporary life. Future generations can benefit from a cultural shift that accepts preventive care, making it as routine as daily exercises or balanced nutrition. To be good ancestors, we must champion a future where health is proactively managed, harmful habits are strictly avoided, and education is the cornerstone of well-being. By embedding these principles into our lives and communities, we ensure that future generations inherit a world where health is valued, maintained, and continually advanced. In doing so, we fulfill our responsibility as ancestors, leaving behind a legacy of health and well-being for all who will follow.